I agree that we must concentrate on our daily sadhana, chanting, etc. But then, whatever remaining time we have, I agree, we don't have to be the best in the sense of being the biggest. But if we have to do proper justice to that service, at least externally, we have to compete. Right? We have to see it in that way and seek, not internally, but at least we have to, for the sake of the company or whatever, has to make progress, and therefore we have to be constantly thinking about it, thinking of ways of improving, how you can do, etc. Now, to balance that with, and then to say that we don't get attached to it, it needs a pure consciousness. We are neophytes. So, it's a catch-22 really. Do we say that you first concentrate only on your sadhana, etc., develop a pure consciousness, and then whatever little time you have, then start going in business? Because if you already are in a situation where your service requires you minimum to spend certain amount of time, and you do feel at times you really get completely absorbed and contaminated, attached, how do you cut back and then first develop your, you put aside certain amount of time, etc.? Because you already have been given that position. It's not that you could gradually progress and then say that if I have time I can do it. So you are in a position where you have to be constantly competing and things, and yet you don't have the pure consciousness. How do you do it in the limited amount of time? For example, in 1.5 hours of chanting, we can put the effort, but at least I don't find that that gives, I'll do that and go into the office, and the whole day you can be in consciousness which doesn't let you get so absorbed and so worked up that you are constantly thinking about it. Because you have to put in a lot of thoughts, you have to put in, actually, you have to think about all the time, because that's what you put in. But at the same time, you don't get attached to that thinking. It's something which is irreconcilable, especially when you're in a neophyte stage. So how does one go about it when we are already in that position?
There are two principles that we must take very seriously. If we are humbly associating with devotees regularly, and if we are performing our sadhana faithfully and sincerely and regularly, then Krishna will protect us. If it is our prescribed duty, just like we have read the story of Maharaj Priyavrata. Maharaj Priyavrata was a brahmachari, living Gandhamad in a mountain. But his Gurudev and his Param Guru, Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, they both ultimately decided that he should get married and he should be the king. Now, if we think that our business is taxing to the mind, can you imagine being the king of the planet Earth? So many considerations. Not only are you competing with other businesses, but you're competing with demons and other armies and other opponents, taxation. Anyways, he surrendered to that service because it was the best way he could help. And in the process, he actually got caught up. He actually began to realize that I'm becoming too much attached to my wife, and I'm becoming too much attached to all these things around me. But he realized that because he was being protected by Krishna. Because he was performing his work on the order of Krishna, he was protected by Krishna. So if we have good sadhana, if we have regular association of devotees, you see, the more you're in that situation you're speaking of, the more desperately you have to have regular association with devotees. In the situation you're speaking out, if you're not associating with devotees very, very regularly, hearing from them, doing some seva, doing sadhana, you're finished. Your consciousness will definitely be washed away by illusion. But if this is the service that we're asked to perform, we have to do it, as Priyavrata had to do it. But we have to be very careful. The first thing is we must regularly associate with devotees, understand how desperate we need to, and have good sadhana. And the second thing is we're working so hard, we're competing so ferociously. What are we going to do with the results? We have to give it to Krishna. We have to make that sacrifice. Then Krishna sees that we're actually doing it for him. And then he will actually really protect us. Krishna tells Arjuna in Gita, always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me. Offer your homage to me. In this way you will come to me without fail. He also says, that whatever you have, offer the fruits of your actions to me. So both of these things side by side are essential. One is through our sadhana. We learn to remember Krishna and think of Krishna. And two is, we must learn to offer the fruits of our actions to Krishna. This is Gita's philosophy. We may be working, we may be toiling in our businesses or in our professions so hard. The more you can give for Krishna, the more He'll protect you. The more we try to keep for ourselves or keep for others, the more we're on our own. So we should be doing both. We should have good sadhana. We should sacrifice as much as possible of the fruits of our actions for Krishna's service. And if we do like this, and it's our order to continue, then we will be protected. Definitely. 100%. We may get caught up, but Krishna will still protect us. Because we have good satsang, we have good sadhana, and we're actually giving the fruits for Him. Bhagavad Gita teaches how a man of action, a man of the world, can become perfect. This is the process.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.